10.
Bill Rizzuto throwing out the first pitch.
9.
Fastball hit deep to right. This could be it. Way back there. Oh, no.
8.
Lawrence Peter Barra, known to everyone as Yogi, star catcher of the New York Yankees.
7.
Here's the payoff pitch. This is it. There it goes. It's out of here.
6.
This ball club will be remembered by me forever because you have heart as big as this city and you showed what being New Yorkers is all about. God bless you.
5.
Hits in 56 consecutive games. That's an all-time record set by the Yankee Clipper Joe DiMaggio.
4.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
3.
Number 3 will never be worn by another Yankee player, but will go to America's baseball shrine at Cooperstown, New York.
2.
Derek Jeter ends his final game with a walk-off single. Derek Jeter, where fantasy becomes reality.
1.
That's not the way it's going to be, George. Damn right it is. If you don't like it, you're fired. You haven't hired me yet.
NFE, it's on you. You got the intro. Go.
Yeah. I got you.
Appreciate you.
You put me on the spot.
I love to do it when I ever have new streamers on here. Erica, you're next. You're going to be next to have to hit it. So
I'm over here trying to come from that hype video. I'm like, I got that intro gave me goosebumps.
I appreciate that. You understand that some people don't even really understand it. The countdown from the retired numbers. They're like, oh, it's really good. I'm like, you do realize it's the countdown. They're like, oh, like, wow, you see it go off. But appreciate you guys for popping in. It is yours truly, the Ace, here with a New York Yankees playoff preview. And I got a couple of special guests in the building. My guy, NFE from the Strike Zone. How you doing, man?
Chilling. I'm good.
And we got Miss Erica in the building. First time on the channel. How you doing?
I'm good. How's everyone doing?
Wonderful. Shout out to everybody in the building. Savius, Theo, Jacob, Yankee Forever, Dylan, Sean. Thank you guys for popping in today's video. We're just going to be having a brief discussion on the New York Yankees 2024 playoffs. The 2024 season, for me personally, was a roller coaster one. Yankees got off to the hottest start that you could possibly ask for after an offseason where we acquired ourselves Alex Verdugo, the blockbuster trade in Juan Soto. Marcus Stroman was also acquired as well. Going into that season, coming off 82 wins, we knew as Yankee fans we had to make a splash. Missed the playoffs last year. Fortunately, we're not going to be saying the same thing this year. And like I said, we got off to probably the hottest start you could possibly ask for the first 2 months of the season. Then June and July hit, and we were arguably comparable to the Chicago White Sox, one of the worst teams in the league for the longest time. Then the trade deadline came along. We, however you guys felt about the trade deadline, Jazz was acquired. Outside of that, not really nothing. We had an average August. September, though, ended pretty good. And then we got ourselves not just a playoff berth, not just the AL East crown, but also the #1 seed, home field advantage all throughout the AL playoffs. I want to get you guys quick thoughts overall on the 2024 season. Erica, the regular season. Erica, we'll start with you. What were your thoughts on 2024 regular season?
Oh, man, a lot of frustration, a lot of joy. Just like you said, a roller coaster of emotions. I just can't believe that after all of that, we ended with the best record in the AL. It just goes to show you, man, baseball, 162 games is not easy for any team, because as much as we're arguing on this side of the fence, other teams and their fandom probably have 10 times worse than us. So, I just want it to pay off. I really want them to the last chapter to be a happy ending. That's it, man. All worth it. So just a roller coaster of emotions, and everyone can relate.
Yeah, there were a lot. This was a trying season because like ups and downs you know, you had a lot of Yankee fans during that stretch in June and July that they were just giving up on the team. That this is not a championship caliber team. Fire everybody, trade away pieces. Like, it's like, dude, like, you have to relax. You know how us Yankee fans are. We can get very emotional and very invested in this team. NFE, what were your thoughts on the 2024 season?
You know, lots of ups and downs. There was a lots of ups and downs. I mean, like you said there, Ace, the way the season started for the Yankees, they were absolutely killing it. They're on top of the world. Then, you know, during the summer, they got hit with a bunch of injuries and they were losing a lot of games. Things weren't looking great for the New York Yankees for that stretch. And here we are now, right? They ended up with like you said, the best record in the American League. They finished at the top of the division, clinched the division, clinched the playoff berth. I mean, I did predict in the offseason that this team could very well finish in first place. We all gotta remember some of the so-called experts talking about this team winning 74 games and being a fourth place team.
Vegas said that too. Vegas had like 78 wins. I was like, come on.
Yeah, I was like, let's give a little more. Let's give a little more to this team because there was definitely a facelift with this team going into this season. So it definitely was not going to be a repeat. Again, I know they hit that tough stretch, but a lot of teams hit that tough stretch. A lot of teams got hit with injuries. The Orioles got hit with injuries towards the end there. So the Yankees could have taken advantage early on, like especially in August, but it's almost like they were trying to give up the division, but they held on at the end of it. They held on. They came through. It's not like they just crawled to the postseason. They fought. They fought the whole entire way. So that's my thing with the 2024 season. Lots of ups and downs, but they went through adversity and overcame a lot of negativity that came with during the season. So
yeah, I feel you on that. So postseason, the matchup is set. We know that we're going against the Kansas City Royals, who just got upset by the Baltimore Orioles. Did you guys have a preference as far as what team you wanted to face, or it didn't matter to you guys at all?
Didn't matter. Yeah, it didn't. It really didn't matter to me. The Yankees have to, I honestly kind of wanted the Astros to win it because I feel like that is just the dragon that they couldn't slay, and I feel like if they go all the way this year, somebody's gonna be like, well, they didn't have to deal with the Astros, so that's why they did. Like, I wanted it to be that team that we were able to overcome and like really just prove our worth. But yeah, it didn't matter, dude. No matter what team is coming to the Bronx for a 5-game series, they're not gonna have it easy.
Yeah, I was actually right there with you. I wanted to see the Astros too because our boogeyman is banished right now. You know what I'm saying? They're done. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to face the best team because I'm right there with you. Everybody was going to say the same thing. It doesn't matter. You can't beat the Astros, da-da-da-da. But, you can only face who's in front of you. And the Kansas City Royals ended up beating the Orioles. We heard that, too, with the Orioles. Like, Orioles last year, 101 wins. They're going to easily get the division this year. Yankees can't match up with them. The Orioles young, da-da-da-da. I was telling a lot of people on the channel, pump the brakes on the Orioles. That inexperience, and it showed. They scored 1 run in 2 games after getting swept again last year. Like, they have a good young nucleus, but they haven't been able to prove they can get it done in this level, and it was apparent last night. What about you, NFE? Did you want to face the Orioles or the Royals more, or it didn't matter?
Didn't matter to me. I mean, either way, whichever team the Yankees faced, I was saying bring it. It's not like either team was going to be easy. The way I see it is whoever makes it to the postseason all have an equal opportunity to make it to the World Series. So for me, it didn't matter. I had a feeling that the Royals were gonna beat the Orioles, and I had the strange feeling we were gonna play them. For me, it did not matter who the Yankees played. I wanted them. Orioles, Royals didn't matter. It's not like neither one was going to be easy. Some fans want to talk about I'd rather play this team because they thought it was going to be easier. I don't think either team was going to be easier than the other. both have an equal shot to beat the Yankees. I mean, if we're being honest, but I'm also confident that the Yankees could beat either one of those teams.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, from experience alone, I thought that we could have definitely, beat the Orioles. But now we're going against the Kansas City Royals. Game time is Saturday officially. The games are Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. You got a day off in between travel. And then Saturday, if need be, hopefully, as is for us Yankee fans, it doesn't go that far. Me personally, we'll talk about before we get out of here, too, what you think your prediction is. But Kansas City, we took 5 out of 7 this year. They're a good young team. They really are. They have 2 very good pitchers at the top of their rotation in Lugo and the other guy's name is escaping my mind. I just said it today.
Waka?
The lefty. No, the lefty. No, we're facing
Ragans.
Yeah. We are facing Waka first though. Lugo it was kind of weird this year because we hit around Lugo one game and then the next game he kind of shut us down, but he just pitched yesterday, so we're not going to see him till middle of the series. Hopefully by the time we face Ragans and Lugo, at least we'll be up a couple of games on them. But they do have a young, fast team, mostly fast, and it's going to be up to our catchers and pitchers to really keep those guys because a base hit can turn into a double, maybe even a triple, you know what I'm saying, with how their speed is. Is there anything that you guys are nervous about from a Yankee standpoint going into this series? Anything that concerns you guys?
Go for it.
To me, it's going to be the same things that have haunted us all season. Is our infield defense going to be able to keep the ball in front of them, right? Especially now with the Rizzo injury, which honestly really hurts because his glove at first helps a lot of errors not be errors. And now you're going to throw in Ben Rice, who's, really a catcher that maybe can plug in as Oswaldo Cabrera. So that concerns me. Another thing that concerns me is obviously the bullpen. Now we don't have Jake Cousins, so that's one less arm. Who am I blanking on? But just like the bullpen, there's just a massive question mark there. That Clay Holmes is going to come in ideals in tough situations, and it's just gonna. I feel like we're just gonna see what we saw in the regular season. And then honestly, outside of Soto and Judge and maybe Stanton, just because of his past in the playoffs, what the bottom of this lineup's going to do. So those are the three major points that I'm worried about, only because it feels like it never fixed the regular season. Like it's just something that we complained about 162 games. So we'll see. I really hope that that's not the case. We'll see what happens. And also, they say that these wildcard teams, technically they don't have an advantage because they have to play these 3 games, but you knock out these 2 games, and with all these off days, I mean, I feel like there really isn't. You said there's a game Saturday and then they're off Sunday, so now you're giving their pitchers a rest anyway. And then there's a game Monday, and then they gets more rest on Tuesday. So it's like, really, what is the disadvantage of playing this wildcard game outside of a 3-game series? Because obviously, I mean, we saw it. It proves that you don't want to be in a 3-game series. But yeah, I don't really love how much of a disadvantage this is for a wild card team. But yeah, those are the 3 things. I'm really concerned it's going to roll into the playoffs, but I really hope that I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Hitting for me is probably the most thing I'm concerned with because it's a long layover, and people can say all they want. Like, yes, they're taking live batting practice, they're taking simulation, but nothing really like pans out the way when it comes to live stuff. You can't, emulate that. And it's going to be, we're going to see, we can't afford to get off to a slow start. Let's put it like that, especially going against Walker. We're going to have to get these bats going. And I'm looking at the other guys to step up because, Soto is going to do what he's going to do. Aaron Judge has struggled a lot in the playoffs. Giancarlo Stanton tends to elevate his game when it comes to the playoffs. Gleyber Torres does solid, but we have a lot of unknowns. We have Volpe. We don't know what he's going to do. Wells, we don't know what he's going to do. Jazz hasn't had a lot of playoff experience. We don't really know what he's going to do either. Is Dominguez going to be starting over Verdugo? We don't know. Verdugo has playoff experience. Dominguez doesn't. So it's a lot of unknowns. I'm just a little bit worried about the bats coming off slow. The pitching, I'm not worried about. I know Cole's going to be Cole at the end of the day and give us a good shot, and we should be able to pitch him if this goes the distance at least twice this series, especially with the built-in days off. So we could also benefit from that as well. but we need to get off to a good start. It's as simple as that, and the bats really need to get going. What about you, NFE? Any big concerns?
I mean, really, my main concern with the Yankees is really going to be the offense. It's going to be the bats. It's not so much that, not the home run ball. Like, we know they could hit home runs. That's not the issue. My thing with the Yankees bats is that sometimes they look like a World Series caliber team where they could put up like 8 or 9 runs, 10 runs, and then it's like there's another game where it's like they forgot how to hit. Mm-hmm. So situational hitting. I mean, that's the biggest thing for me, especially with runners in scoring position. How many games have we seen this season where the bases are loaded with either no outs or 1 out, and you have an opportunity to score some runs, but they only end up scoring 1 run? I mean, it's great that they scored a run, but 1 run doesn't suffice, especially in games like that. And in the postseason, you got to take advantage of those types of opportunities, because who's to say you're going to get those types of opportunities? So if they have runners in scoring position that are, and they have a real opportunity, they gotta seize that opportunity. So for me, it's just the situational hitting is the biggest thing for me. I'm not too concerned about the pitching. I know some folks may feel differently about the pitching, but I'm not too concerned about it. I know there's some people that don't trust the bullpen, but personally, I trust the bullpen, because ever since they took Clay Holmes out of that closer role, I feel like there's been an improvement in that bullpen. And Clay Holmes, even though, yes, he does give people heart attacks, he looks more comfortable now ever since he's been taken out of that closer role. He's looked more comfortable on the mound. Like, there's not a lot of pressure on him. It's almost like he has that confidence in him, which is good to see. I'm not saying let's put this guy in a tight situation, but it's just he does pitch better when he's not having to close a game out, or when the Yankees don't have a 1-run lead. So, but for me, again, situational hitting, the bats is my main concern going into this series.
Yeah. Also agree with you as well, because we, runners in scoring position, we've struggled at times this year. How many times have we seen less than 2 outs, runners on second and third, and you only get, either 1 or no runs in? As far as the back end of the bullpen, Luke Weaver, I think we could agree that he stepped up big exponentially for us this year. Tommy Kahnle, pitched well as well. Tim Hill, this is my thing when it comes to the playoffs, right? You need about 3 good starters, in my opinion. You're going to have Cole, Rodon, who had a great bounce back year as a New York Yankee. He is actually my biggest surprise of the year this year, especially considering how he was last year. More use of his secondary pitches this year was phenomenal. He actually used because before you can't just get away with just fastball slider. You have to implement your secondary pitches, change up curveball, and even a little bit of the cutter. Early on, he struggled a little bit where you could tell he wasn't comfortable with it. But then once he started getting comfortable, he started looking good, had over 15 wins this year. Rodon was a big surprise. Luis Hill, a lot of us love Luis Hill. Either him or Clark Schmidt will be our number 3. We'll see what happens with there. But in the bullpen, in my opinion, you need about at least 4 or 5 good arms to be able to carry us. Cousins, hopefully, will be back sooner rather than later. Tommy Kahnle, I really like. Tim Hill's pitched well. Luke Weaver as well. So it's like you're going to need guys to pretty much step up. But the biggest thing is if we can't hit, we're not going to win. It's as simple as that. Who is you guys' biggest surprise of the year, though?
And if we go first, because
all right. Honestly, my biggest surprise, there was a few, man, but really, I do have to say Luis Hill. Honestly, like I had a feeling he was going to pitch well. Like I had a feeling he was going to do well, but I didn't think he was going to do this well. Like he took me by surprise. He really did.
Are you nervous at all about him going into the playoffs? His very first playoff appearance, possibly. They don't know. It's either going to be him or Clark Schmidt. Are you nervous at all?
I am a little nervous about him because he sometimes he does lose control of his pitches. So, you mentioned something about Clark Schmidt, Luis Hill. I wanted to bring this up real quick. I think I could see a scenario where they start Luis Hill in Game 3, and then if things go south, I'm not saying that it will, then they could bring Clark Schmidt out of the bullpen. I don't think you want Luis Hill to be the guy to come out of the bullpen. You don't want him. Personally, that's what I think. Also, as far as pitchers go, I know Cashman did say he was going to go with 11 or 12 pitchers. He hasn't. They haven't really decided on the number. And Cousins is, I think, supposed to be back. So, because I know he was throwing. So, I'm only bringing those things up because we talked about it. So Cousins might be on the roster for the division series, but Luis Hill was my biggest surprise, honestly, this season.
Erica?
To me, I actually said Ken just took the words out of my mouth, but I was going to say Juan Soto. I know that we understood the caliber of a player that he was, or he is. We've seen the numbers. We've seen him in other uniforms, what he can do. But what he brought to this Yankees team, to this lineup, how he elevated Judge's game by being in front of him, just seeing him day in and day out was a huge surprise. I think that he's overachieved here, to be honest. And I think that is a testament to having Judge behind him as well. That's why I think that he needs to re-sign here, man. I don't think he's going to ever have a year like this if he doesn't have a guy like Judge behind him, or vice versa. But I digress on that. But I feel like that is a weird one to choose because everyone's be like, it's Juan Soto. Like, obviously he's going to be good. But I just think that he's above and beyond what I expected from him. And then a 1B would be Luke Weaver. I think in the beginning of the year, everyone was like, yo, why do we have this guy? Like, he's a dumpster dive for Cashman, just trying to, fix somebody. And not only did he hold down the bullpen, coming in for, long relief and being overused, to then becoming our closer with grit, and it looked like he just unlocked a different side. Like, it's a different personality. And then he's just like the fun guy in the locker room too. Every time you see those Yankees videos, he's like the highlight of the entire reel. I would say Luke Weaver is like my 1B, because that guy, I know that we started the season talking about how we have a team of dogs, but that guy is the definition of it.
Yeah. So speaking of dogs, Max had mentioned Alex Verdugo, so that brings on a good point. Who would you guys start Game 1? Alex Verdugo or Jason Dominguez? NFE, who would you go with?
I'm going Verdugo.
Ooh.
I'm gonna cause a little controversy, and that's fine.
Is it because of the defense?
It is because of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
It is because of the defense. I'm not saying Dominguez. Yeah, he had a couple of misplays, but I'm not saying that's going to be him the entire time. But I think you got to go Verdugo here, and he's got postseason experience, and honestly, he's done well in the postseason in the past. So I mean, I'm depending on that. Hopefully, it's just I want Dominguez to play. It's not that I don't want him to play. I absolutely want him to play. I want him to get the opportunity. But in a case like this, though, you got to go. I mean, I got to go Verdugo.
Got you, Erica.
So I am the biggest Jason Dominguez advocate. I was yelling into the void about him getting called up in September, and I was so pissed when he wasn't. But I'm gonna go with Verdugo, just because it's a defense. I think it's important. I know that I'm gonna regret this when he grounds that into a double play to the second baseman in a big spot. I know I'm gonna regret it, and I'm gonna be like, why did I make this decision? But to me, they gave Jason Dominguez the opportunity to show that he belongs here, and I do think that he does, but he didn't get enough reps in left field. Left field is a different monster at Yankee Stadium. And when games, the playoffs, I mean, you've seen most of these games 1-0, 2-1. It's the little things that come back to bite you in the butt. And I don't want it to be Dominguez overrunning another ball that he wasn't able to track down. I just don't want it to be that. And the good thing is in the playoffs, everyone starts with it's a fresh slate. So Verdugo can start the playoffs going, 5 for 10 to start. So I hope that I don't eat my words, but I'm gonna go Verdugo. I just can't. I don't trust Dominguez's defense right now. Not in a big spot.
Yeah. I would like to see Dominguez in that situation, but what do I think the Yankees are going to do is probably going to be Verdugo. They're going to stick him in a 9-hole and just hope that whatever they get from him is like found money. You know, defensively, as much as people want to like give Jason Dominguez shit for his defense, especially when it came to like the Orioles series, people forget Alex Verdugo fell flat on his face to cost us a game as well. So let's not act like, you know, he's made his errors as well. But yeah, Verdugo's more proven out there. I think ultimately he will be the decision. They're going to put him at 9, and whatever they get from him is what they get from him. We'll see ultimately what happens, but you know, there are going to have to be other guys to step up, because if we're relying on the Alex Verdugos to carry us, we're going to be in trouble. And, you know, go ahead.
I was going to say, I mean, Verdugo in left also kind of helps Judge in center, though, because you saw when Dominguez was in left, one of the last games, Judge was covering more ground because he just couldn't trust for Dominguez to be where he needed to be, which can potentially turn into an injury. And in order for the Yankees to go all the way, they need Judge in this lineup. So I don't know. There's just a lot of factors that go into this. Again, I want Dominguez's bat. I would prefer it in the lineup, but when I weigh out everything, I just think Verdugo, like you said, the Yankee front office is just going to go with Verdugo. That's going to be the decision they make. But I think it just makes sense with the pros and cons of having Dominguez out there. So,
yeah. We're going to see what's going to happen. We will be wrapping this up shortly. Just wanted to come on and make a quick video. I haven't been live streamed with you guys for a minute. Glad that you guys can both come on here with me. Who needs to be your MVP of this series? This particular series versus the Kansas City Royals. Who needs to go off for the Yankees to have that success and move on to the next round? Erica, we'll start with you.
My Dominican brother, Austin Wells, because he's gonna be in the cleanup spot. I think they'll keep it where it's Wells in the cleanup and in fifth. You can pitch around Soto, you can pitch around Judge. It's about what the guys behind them are able to do, and that puts Wells in a really good spot. I think he's capable. He's shown it. I know that he ended the season terribly. He slumped. That's baseball. But he also showed that he could carry this team offensively. And so I think that needs to – I mean, he's going to have a ton of rest. I know he was saying that he wasn't tired, and catching a majority of the second half of the season wasn't getting to him offensively. But, you know, I think subconsciously it can without him realizing. So I think this rest is going to help him, and I think that he needs to be the MVP in order for this offense to click properly.
Okay. NFE?
See, Erica said Wells, you know, the guy that I want to step up, and I hope he does, because he absolutely needs to step up. For me, I'm gonna go Anthony Volpe. That's gonna be my pick right there. Yeah, because Volpe can be that hitter. He most definitely can be. It's just he kind of resorted back to some of his old ways. And he needs to be the guy that comes through with those hits in the postseason and create those opportunities. So Volpe's going to be my guy. That's my guy to be MVP in this series. He needs to come big in this postseason. So,
hey yo.
Whatever.
Hey yo.
Whatever.
I'm right there with you. Like Volpe can do right a lot of the wrongs from the regular season. You know, say a very streaky hitter if he comes back hot. And young kids can have success. Look at Jackson Chourio yesterday. Crushed 2 home runs, gave the Mets gave the Mets headaches all day yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Kept the Padres. Actually, he probably saved the Padres season yesterday. So young guys can step up. I'm looking at guys like, and this is going to be tough coming from me because everybody knows how much I give this guy shit on the channel. Gleyber Torres. I'm looking at Gleyber Torres to continue his hot streak after the All-Star break since being reinserted into that leadoff spot. He's played very well. I still don't want to bring him back for that qualifying offer. I think, you know, this would be a good swan song for him. Like, come out here, play well, and then you can go get yourself a contract somewhere else. But Glaber's ability to see pitches, and during the last couple of weeks of the offseason, during the regular season, I always say this: Glaber's locked in when he's hitting line drives to right field, right center field, and right field, and stop trying to pull everything. He was doing that, and with this lineup, if we're somehow able to make the pitchers work within the first couple of innings, starting with Gleyber Torres, we know Juan Soto is gonna see a lot of pitches, and then hopefully Aaron Judge breaks out of his 2-11 playoffs that we all know this year. But yeah, I'm looking at a guy like Gleyber Torres to step up this year and absolutely get it done. On the pitching side, like I said, bullpen's gonna have to hold tight. We're gonna have to see what happens. But mostly too, another person needs to be the MVP. Aaron Boone needs to manage his ass off. Like this is the year, man. You can't sit here and you can't make mistakes. Like, you can't be nervous. You're a very experienced playoff manager at this point. Get it done. And I see no reason why, with the Astros being out and the Orioles getting bounced, the Central we've had a lot of success against. I don't see why we can't get it done. And I feel like this is the year. So ultimately, we will see.
This has to be the year. I mean, I know the NL is crazy. The Padres, those teams are insane. But on the AL side, we have to get the pennant. Just without the Astros there, you got two teams that really don't have offense. In the Royals, the Guardians can't really, hit too well. Who are the Guardians playing? I'm like blanking.
Tigers.
Who do they have to play? Oh, again, see, that mystique can only carry you so much. Like, the Yankees have the experience. And like you said, Boone has to step up. I saw Carlos Mendoza lose the bet game yesterday by not pulling Phil Maton. Like, I don't understand. That was such a Boone thing. Like, keep him out there and let him work through it. Not in the playoffs, dude. These games are too important. So, yeah, I agree, man. I'm so nervous. I'm so irrationally nervous about this, because it feels like this is the best opportunity we're gonna have to get it done. But yeah. I gotta get out of here. I gotta go to the gym. Sorry.
Give me your series prediction before you get out of here, though.
Oh shoot, man. Yeah, I think that I understand that the Yankees' home season series, whatever, the record wasn't as good this year, but I think that we got a glimpse of what it's like in October with that series against the Red Sox, and I think that the Yankees are going to feed off of that, especially a guy like Jazz Chisholm. He's already talking about it, man. He was excited about 2-3 games where it would sell out in Miami. I can't imagine him being in front of this crowd with that October chill. That, we get crazy in that stadium. So I think that the home field advantage is going to be an advantage to us. I got the Yankees. I mean, I can honestly see them sweeping 3-0. We proved that we can go out to Kansas City and beat them there. We won 2 out of 3, I think, in the last series. We could do it. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. So I got Yankees winning in 4.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you for popping on, Miss Erica. Appreciate you. Would love to have you on the channel anytime that you want. Have a good workout, and thank you for popping on.
Bye, guys. Let's go Yankees.
All right, so we'll finish up this. Take a couple more minutes because I want to thank you for your time as well. What's your prediction?
Honestly, the way the postseason is, the way these games play out, the unpredictability. You know what, man? I see this. I see the series going 5.
Ooh, going 5 back in the Bronx.
Back to the
That's
Bronx.
That's going to be if that is the case. Everybody's going to be on pins and needles. Everybody's going to be nervous as hell. I actually have it going 4. I got Yankees in 4. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. They're going to get 1. But if by some chance we do go 5, we have the benefit of we could throw Cole back out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're because Reagans and Lugo are only going to pitch once in the series, even with the days off that they have. So I could definitely see us taking them out in about 4. So finishing off in Kansas City. I would love a sweep. Like Eric said, would love to be able to handle business. But I do think the Yankees, the first game is going to be very indicative of what this series is going to be, because the Yankees bats do get off the slow starts coming off days off. We've just had almost a week off. So we can't, I would like to not struggle out of the gate, but I can see us maybe going 1-1 at home and then taking the next 2 in Kansas City with consecutive off days. I mean, with consecutive game days, I should say, the Wednesday and Thursday games, because those day offs will be a little bit tricky to navigate, especially because you've been off for so long. But we'll see what happens, man. But hopefully our Yankees can pull it off, and we can find ourselves hanging up banner number 28, so hopefully. But I do appreciate you for coming on. Everybody in the chat, you guys were absolutely incredible. Make sure you subscribe to my guy NFE's channel over there on the Strike Zone. Erica also has a channel as well. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll fix the description and post both of their channels in there on the YouTube, so you can go find them. But appreciate you for coming on, man. Any final words you want to give before you get out of here? Before we get out of here?
Yeah, no, you're good, man. No, I appreciate you having me on. Shout out to the Ace Avenue. Shout out to the folks in the chat. Always appreciate seeing all of you. There's a few familiar names in there, so always love seeing everybody in the chat. This is the year. I feel like this is their best shot. This is their best chance in a long time. So Yankees need to make it happen. And game one, if they can just start game one with a win, I think it'll be smooth sailing. It's gonna be still, I don't want to say smooth sailing. It'll be a tough series, but because Kansas City is gonna put up a fight. They will put up a fight. But let's go Yankees. Go out there, kill it, make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team. Nothing to slouch over. They're here for a reason. So definitely can't take them light. But we've had success against them in the regular season. But that is the regular season. But it's a different animal coming to the Bronx though in the playoffs. And Saturday's gonna be lit. You gonna be streaming the game on Saturday?
I'll do a pregame. I'll probably be watching a game because I'll be multitasking. I'll be watching a game. There's some fights going on Friday or on Saturday night, so I'm going to be tuning into both. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, if you need me to pop on for your Saturday one, let me know. I'll definitely be on there. Definitely be honor.
Yeah. No, I'll once I get that set up, dude, I'll send you a link for sure.
Yeah. But I appreciate you, man, for coming on. Thank you, Erica. Erica's first time on the channel. Your second time. You guys are the best, and I would love to have you guys on again when the Yankees advance to the ALCS. Let's go ahead and put that in the air. Who would you rather face though? The Guardians or the Tigers, if it got to that point?
I'm gonna say Guardians.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Guardians. Tigers scare me.
Yeah, they're hot right now.
Tigers scare me. They especially with a guy like Skubal.
I don't want to face Skubal 3 times.
That's what I'm saying. He's a good pitch. Skubal's a good pitcher and has all the capabilities of destroying other teams. And we saw what he did against the Astros.
Yep.
He was solid. So I'd rather face the Guardians, honestly. But at this point, Yankees are going to play who they're going to play. Whoever they face, they just got to go out there and win and just make it happen. Not make any. They can't afford to make big mistakes. I know mistakes are going to happen, but not in the postseason. You gotta limit that. So
yep. That's why we're looking at Aaron Boone. So hopefully the Yankees have a good series. And like I said, I will be live for every single game. For those that know, I was taking a little time off. But I'm ready. I'm fully ready for a long playoff run, and let's get 28. Let's go Yankees. Appreciate all of you guys for popping in. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe to all the channels. You guys are absolutely incredible. Have a good rest of your evening, and I will see you guys on Saturday. Hopefully you guys are ready to go. I will be. Appreciate you guys. As always, thank you for tuning into the Ace Avenue. I am yours truly, the Ace. Adios.